Greetings, light workers. This is Oya Transformation, and it is time for another daily message from the oracles. Today is 9/25/2020. The cards have been shuffled and divined, and the messages are as follows. The first card that dropped for today is the Four of Coins or Pentacles. Well, at first glance, this young man is standing in a lush forest with his arms crossed and his coins held comfortably in his arms. He seems to be guarding his coins. Meanwhile, there's light behind him and butterflies all around him, and there's a lush universe that's just behind him. So fours represent logic and practicality. And so what I'm hearing them say right now is that, yes, okay, it's a good time to guard your coins. However, recognize love wants to give you more. Recognize that you are supported by a lush universe all around you. And those things that you guard and hold dear may be the things that are holding you back from a new adventure, holding you back from your purpose. So it's a balanced kind of energy because fours are somewhat balanced, However, it's asking for logic. So that which you hold tightly. I'm not saying let's just take all of your goods and throw them to the wind. But think about how much stress they're putting on you to hold them tightly when butterflies are being fed regularly without such stress. And the green around you still survives without as much tending as possible that we may do to the things that we hold as mine. As kids, we're like, it's mine! And then as you find out as you get older that none of it is really yours, it's all borrowed. So the second card to support this is Vast Vistas. And this person is sitting on top of a box of stuff and looking out over the world. Doesn't look too shabby either. Expand your horizons. Well, this goes back to the first card. If you're holding tight to this stuff, how far can you go before you're worrying about what's going on with my stuff? So it's asking us to begin to look at choices. Do we want the stuff that we own to own us? It's also saying it's not a time to think small because what all is going on in the world is still going on in the world. But each of us is a microcosm of the world. So as much as all these things that are happening in the world that the media would show us that are distasteful, it's still a beautiful place to be. People are still accomplishing their goals. Life still goes on. It's not a time to think small or to think scared because guess what? The choices you make right now will support and or thwart your growth. The next card that falls is the 13 of Shielding. Once again, it's another 4, which speaks to logic, materialism, guardedness. So, for us, we got a kind of I don't say a conflict, but we're looking at two things. We're looking at thinking big and where is it that we can go to grow. And we're also looking at logically managing our stuff, our inward stuff, the things that make us who we are. And the outward stuff, our pinnacles, our pennies, the things that support us being comfortable. And is comfortable going to take you all the places you say in your heart you want to go? That's the question. And the final card says, I am not a victim of the world I see. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness recognizes what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred. Now, I'm somewhat challenged with that, and I think you would be too, because things are happening around us. So I guess what we're being asked to do right now is not to look at the happenings as if they're not something we would have liked, because that's the only way we say it's done to us. Because when we think of it as good, it's done for us. So I challenge you to take on that it is all done for us. Whether we think of it as a good thing or a bad thing, maybe we shift, as we were asked yesterday, to shift out of that duality and look at it all as things to overcome, things to add to our journey, whether we would think of them as pleasing or less pleasing. And recognize that we're all doing the best we can. And I recognize also that some of us would have trouble with that. But once again, I stand by my sister, mother, auntie, Maya, who would say, when you know better, you do better. And recognize everybody doesn't know what everybody else knows. That's what makes us all different and unique. So, with that said, guard your pennies, the stuff, but don't let the stuff own you. Plan big, because life continues to go on. And largely, if you were not looking at your future for fear of your present in this last 6 months, I challenge you to hightail it up into a planner and get to making some plans, because this may go on and so will your life. Whether you play small or whether you expand. Thank you for listening. Namaste. And have the best Friday of your choosing. Be well.